7 strangers were first forced together after awakening on an abandoned and derelict space station. In the process of escaping the station, you managed to secure a copy of the core system of a unique and enigmatic NHP, who identified as Sam, from the station management mainframe. This decision proved complicated after surviving planetfall, as Sam apparently lacked any memory of the station. Helix and Rita, both having experience with NHPs, knew that copying only the core system of an NHP does not transfer the data as well. In order to access any of the information that Sam had on what happened on the Deep End station, you would need to recover their NHP casket, which had crashed to the planet along with the station. Luckily, Sam was able to direct your squad to the location of the casket. Unfortunately, the crash site was being investigated by a group of heavily armed strangers. Not willing to lose the data, your squad engaged the opposing force. With minimal damage taken, the enemy force was defeated, the NHP casket was recovered, and you even managed to hijack an enemy mech for yourself. Now, back at your makeshift base in the middle of the scrubland, Helix and Celis have been working on decrypting the captured mech systems to hopefully glean any useful information about who this group was. The decryption process was long and arduous, taking most of the night. Whoever manufactured and fielded these mechs was not messing around when it came to security. During the data recovery, a deep-root VOIDBURN executable was inadvertently triggered, deleting the vast majority of the data on the mech, much like a prisoner using a cyanide tooth. However, a small portion was still able to be recovered, pointing to the mysterious group being UIB, or in other words, Union Black Ops. Also found in the data were a few blueprints for mechs, to be used in a 3D printer to manufacture a new one. With some work on Sam's part, they managed to recode the restrictions on licenses for your own uses. Additionally, they were also able to find the location of a 3D printer nearby that they pulled down from an old surface mapping satellite. Though the status of this printer is left unknown until you make the hour trek north to the junkyard it's apparently housed at. The world is yours. You guys can be just waking up from a rest. I will say you guys have had time to repair your mechs, and you're all full up on everything, so the world is yours.
Okay, so our mechs are repaired, and I suppose in this case our intel is that there's a 3D printer nearby. Is the aim then to, in similar fashion to the mech that we got, hijack the 3D printer and basically make it ours?
Up to you. All your information is that there's a 3D printer in a junkyard that's an hour north. If you want to use these licenses and blueprints, you'll have to find a 3D printer to print a new mech at.
Cool. Okay.
So we're gonna want that 3D printer.
This is like gold to you. The idea of printing a new mech is... You've scanned over the blueprints. They are quite advanced.
I do love a challenge.
That'd be extremely valuable for us. Especially if the UIB is going to be getting very intimate with us.
Oh, question about I forget the acronym for it, but it's like that artificial intelligence from the first session.
NHP.
Right? So the NHP, is that still in my mech, or is it somewhere else?
You have 2 copies, actually. You have one NHP copy of Sam in Phoebe's mech, and you have 1 copy in your mech, Burnout.
Okay.
If you would like to initiate a conversation, you could start up her process.
We do have her casket, right?
You do have her casket, yes.
Mm-hmm. We should probably get her back in that.
If you would like to, you can, so... reacquainting a mech with her casket can be a long process. It's kind of like decrypting and re-encrypting. It might take some time, so that task could be left to Helix, Phoebe, and Justicia while you guys go scout out for the 3D printer.
I feel like
Celis holds up her hand and just says, "I'm not touching that thing."
I suppose it would be a good thing for Helix. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm not touching it either.
I mean, it's already in my mech, right?
You just have a copy of her on like a flash drive of them.
But so then, would I be transferring that copy to another storage location, or did I mishear?
You could. Phoebe already has a copy of it. Phoebe has the same copy you do. You can keep a copy for yourself, but basically what you've learned by staying with this group overnight, the copy of Sam that you and Phoebe have is basically a
Like the free version.
Yeah. The demo trial version of Sam. She doesn't
Unlicensed.
She doesn't have any of her memories.
Yeah.
It's just her
Every
personality.
48 hours, we're prompted to pay for premium, that type shit.
Yeah.
WinRAR dialogue.
Yeah. But yeah, you can do whatever you want with your copy. You can keep it, you can give it to Phoebe, you can dispose of it. I mean, it's whatever.
All right, look, does anybody want my copy of Sam? I'm not particularly attached to her.
I could take her.
Okay, she's all yours. And I'm gonna climb into Roanne, and I'm gonna yank out the little flash drive, right? She was in a flash drive?
Yeah, essentially, a futuristic flash drive.
There we go. I'm gonna yank out the flash drive and toss it over to... Rita. I forgot how to pronounce... I forgot your character's name.
Rita.
It's Rita.
Rita. And toss it to Rita.
Rita Book.
Rita Book.
Oh, is that her last name?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Jesus.
I will double-handed, like, crocodile catch the USB drive. And
Oh, I love that.
I will set to work. I guess, at least for the time being... Well, okay, if we're going on the mission today, and if Helix is staying behind, I feel like Helix probably does a pretty good job here. So if anything, I will hand this off to Helix.
Okay. Helix
but just keeping in mind that you generally like those kind of like artificial intelligence type things.
Yeah. Oh, I'm totally about it. That's like, that's my thing.
Sick.
It's...
Yeah.
If anything, like, I'm happy to provide temporary housing, but I would much rather... I would much rather Sam get reacquainted with their knowledge. And that seems like they could be particularly useful to us. I know there was a mention of overnight. I don't think we really have a base right now, so we just kind of slept out of our cars.
Yep, essentially. You guys...
Thematic equivalent of cars.
Yeah, so sundown was a couple hours after you returned from the crash site, and then you spent the night decrypting the stolen mech. Now it's morning, you're going to head out, and the rest of the team is going to spend the day reacquainting Sam with her body.
And maybe figuring out, as a result, where the heck we are.
Yes.
Good plan.
I was just going to ask, do we have any way of gleaning any information on this planet or its inhabitants or settlements?
You could ask your lovely NHP that has probably been scanning satellites for information.
Ugh.
This planet has satellites?
You do know that it has satellites. That's where you got the information that there's a 3D printer a little bit north.
I could also maybe do that. I'm going to ask Avery if they have been...
Hey, boss!
Hey, girly. Oh, God, I'm turning into Phoebe.
Infectious.
You wouldn't have happened to have been scanning satellites and have figured out where we are, have you?
Not without your permission, boss. Don't wanna inappropriately scan those satellites.
I mean, okay, listen, you know how I feel about that. It's just scan the stupid satellites.
On it!
How do you inappropriately scan a satellite?
Without its consent!
Are satellites sentient?
Not in the way we are.
Then how can it give its consent?
Oh, it just did.
What?
Oh, enthusiastic, I see you. Ooh.
I mean, I know some systems do need a authentication. That is a form of digital consent.
Uploading the planet maps to your UI, boss!
Wow.
You get a very rough, blurry map of what this planet looks like, and it looks similar to Cradle, Earth, as some people know it. There's a lot more land, a lot less water, and a lot less greenery. It's very arid. The identification that comes up is Garo 13 ABD. I will post that in the chat. Locally known as Abed.
Community?
What?
That's a character from the show Community.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
AHBED. I have
so
not
close.
seen Community, sorry.
Okay, so we're on an algebra planet, and it's a desert. Cool.
The information that comes up is that this was once a more technologically advanced planet, but became a rimworld after many wars and, nuclear explosions.
Oh.
A post-apocalyptic planet, indeed.
Okay,
No way.
so scratch that. It's a nuclear desert. Very fun, very fun. It's Rita says as like they're immediately pulling like a respirator out of their bag.
All your you have
like cool, awesome, great.
You have many sensors.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you have many sensors on your mechs detecting, radiation and whatnot. Because you do have nuclear reactors mere feet from where you sit. It's elevated, but it's not dangerous at this location. From what you can tell of the history annals and the archives, this planet has been like this way for quite a long time, 50 to 100 years or so.
Okay, it's had a little bit of time to decay, but the place is still probably effectively a Chernobyl zone, and I feel like this is also the point where Rita like pulls a Geiger counter out of their pocket, like smacks the side, oh, it needs new batteries. Turns it on, and it's like it clicks every once in a while, but it's like, okay, we're okay.
You're okay.
We didn't sleep on top of a bed of nuclear waste. Thank goodness.
Well then, keep an eye on your flesh then. Where you have it, at
What
least.
a strange way of phrasing that.
Well, I will say,
You beat me to it.
during our downtime, you'll probably have seen Celis with a more casual outfit on. Like she maybe like unzipped part of her jumpsuit.
Lingerie.
Not lingerie. She's not constantly wearing lingerie. Or perhaps something like Lyselle's
–
casual clothing.
That is lingerie.
No, those are straps.
Mm-hmm. It's athleisure. It's like bordering on it, but it's comfortable.
But from what you've seen of her body, it's not a lot of flesh. You can tell it's a lot of flesh-colored casings for cybernetics. Like maybe some you might see some flesh on her torso, but then again it might just be more realistic looking casing.
So it's very like Overwatch Sojourn.
Yes.
Love that.
And if anyone knows the term, she is a fitting image of what might be an android.
Would
You mean-
sand get into your body?
Again,
What did Codis say?
you mean like she has like artificial skin and like that sort of shit that you see in like Cyberpunk, where
Yes.
they have like the sealed like metal parts where you can tell.
Yeah,
like, oh, fuck yes.
She is chromed the fuck up. And for Ian, no, I'm not. I'm not some simple, casual modifier to my body. This is my life.
That wasn't what I was getting at with my question, but okay.
Rita,
Neither water or sand is going to bother my implants.
Okay, see, that was the answer to my question.
Rita leans over
I'm
from
a
stage
very
right.
simple man. Just answer my questions, please. What?
Like Rita
Rita
was-
Rita leans over from stage right with their like completely mechanically prosthetic left hand and like shakes it a couple times and like some grits of sand fall out. Oh, much better.
That is extremely unhealthy.
What? It's just mechanical.
I
Like it's cable based. It's not anything too fancy. I rigged it
mean-
together.
it works, but it could be better.
Probably.
For another time, perhaps. Maybe that 3D printer could help some.
Hmm.
But
It
in
works
the
the way I
meantime,
designed it.
well, at least there's that. But for now, did you see anything else about the planet or anything we could use for surveying the area with the printer?
Vivi,
Yes?
do you have anything more useful to tell me about
Nope.
this place?
This
Okay.
satellite's really old, boss. Barely functioning.
Some of us more than others. Okay, well, you heard her.
Well, if our initial welcome on this planet was like that, I can only hope to see how friendly other people here are.
Speaking of, we want to go get the fancy make things machine.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Let's figure out a plan. It's okay, so we know that it's in like a junkyard an hour north from here. Do we have any I guess well now the satellite's pretty old, so it's we have planetary imagery, but I can't imagine we have like a specific landscape map or specific enough to tell like anything particularly interesting about the junkyard.
Not from the current satellites overhead.
If we
Yeah.
get closer, we could make use of our own personal scanners.
That is true.
And if we get even closer, I could send in a drone.
It is relatively close. An hour is probably only 3 to 5 miles away.
Oh, so our mechs move. Wait, so would we be moving on foot or on our mechs?
Either or.
We should use Max. I'm
Give-
not
Up to you.
one
Given
for
the-
walking that
yeah.
far.
Given the choice, I'll take the limo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Do I want to take my car across the city, or do I want to walk?
I mean,
Depends on the
There
day.
are walkable cities.
Yeah,
just not
this
in
ain't one.
most of our country.
We need to get rid of mech culture here.
All right.
There's too many mech-centric cities since the 1950s.
Damn, if only.
Oh, goddamn Reagan.
You see how much of our city is
Goddamn Robo Reagan.
See how much of this sci-fi future city is taken up by mech parking lots? Ugh.
Well, if we're going to be scouting out this junkyard, we should be ready for anything, including hostilities. So, are all of your mechs as fixed up as they can at the moment?
Oh yeah, Rowan's squeaky clean.
That's good, considering your landing strategy.
Burnout rubs a finger down the paintwork of Rowan, and it almost lets out like a moaning sound.
That was weird. That was really weird.
Okay. Well, mine isn't looking any better. I pretty much stretched its nanomachine supply to its limits.
Looks over at Avery. Avery's found like a big buried satellite in the ground and is like actively banging two of them together like they're dolls and they're kissing.
Oh, right. Vivi controls the mech. Yeah.
Yeah. It's she's gonna get dirty again anyway.
Say my mech, you probably start to see that the inner frame of Celis's mech is becoming more visible, and more of the armor plating is basically just nanomachines solidified into certain shapes that have been kind of thinned out.
Yeah, you can see some of the more bare framework on parts that are less combat critical.
Alright, if anyone is ready, how about we get started on this journey?
Sure.
You guys head out to the coordinates that Sam gave you. Burnout, are you taking a copy of Sam or no? No, you left it. You left it with.
Yeah, I left it. Well, I gave it to Helix, and then Helix gave it to.
Sorry, Rita
not
gave
Helix. I gave it to Rita, and then Rita gave it to someone else.
All right.
Also, when we're traveling to our location, Rowan will be in car mode, just cruising very slowly. The next speed of everyone
Okay,
else.
I didn't realize we established that she was a transformer.
No. She's not she's not actually a transformer. She can't. That So my idea for car mode is literally just like the mech just kind of like starts crawling instead of walking, if that makes any sense. So it looks like a car, but it's not actually driving on wheels.
Gotcha. Well, I was gonna say
it's like effectively useless, and it's just for show.
You're LARPing.
Yes, LARPing actual car.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to have like wheels on like the arms and legs, that you could like go into like a quadrupedal mode and just kind of it's up to you. Anyway, you guys make your way through the desert, and we'll get the music corrected.
Let's get as close as possible within sensor range.
Yep.
So we can scout out a little bit.
Yes.
Or close enough to find some additional satellites that are closer and can give us a better image.
Yeah. Well,
that will also help. Maybe? I assumed it would be the same satellite we used.
Yeah. There's not many satellites over this particular area. The ones you can find are all geostationary, so they're not going to move. You have to move to a different location of the planet. And, you know, given how there's less technology here, there's probably not that many people capable of launching satellites anymore. So the ones that are up there are pretty old. But you trudge through the scrubland as it slowly kind of gets more and more arid. And eventually you come up on the 1 mile marker away from this supposed junkyard. this is where you can probably send out a little drone up in the air and get some good aerial views of what you're going up against.
Yeah, actually, Celis has some stuff that can very much help with that. She has her Lotus projectors
Mhm.
actually are invisible.
Okay.
And since I also have the Shepherd trait from drones, I can actually move them, even if they're not capable of movement regularly.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. As we're not in combat at the moment, you can use your drone pretty much like unlimited. It doesn't have its limitations as it does in combat, range and whatnot.
Nice. A little the back of Celis's mech, the familiar, will open up a little bit, and a little spinning upside down flower-shaped drone will pop out and roll around. It will cloak itself and fly off towards the junkyard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it flying or rolling on the ground?
It is. I'll say it's hovering.
You can have it. Can it? I'm assuming it can fly, right?
Self-propelled, self-autonomous unit with rudimentary intelligence, half size.
We'll say it can fly.
Yeah, I know it's...
Because that makes it easier for me to give you the map and say it's an aerial view of what you're going up against.
Yes.
So, as you send out the drone, it flies off for about like 10 minutes or so.
Also detect invisible things.
Okay, it can detect invisible things. It starts beaming you back aerial pictures, and if everyone can join the owl bear, you can review what you get.
Right.
Is that the same one we use for Espa?
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Where's the link for that?
It is pinned in the discussion channel.
For Dawn the Last God.
Yippee. I'm here.
So you guys are off the map currently. So there we go.
Gotcha.
This is what you see.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
No movement.
Junkyard sure looks like a junkyard.
Indeed it does.
It should be
You
junking.
see a ruined road bisecting it. You see massive piles of junk and scrap that tower 10, 15 feet high. You see lots of old car parts. You see a huge electromagnet attached to a crane. Some big steel storage tanks. And most importantly, you see what looks like some sort of platform with a huge gantry hanging over it that looks like a 3D printer.
Oh. By my sisters, these are old.
Is this the 3D print?
Yes, it is.
Yippee.
By the way, for reference, my Lotus projector, the way it works properly is that I know the current location, HP, evasion, E-defense, and heat of all characters within my drone's sight, as well as anything hidden.
Okay. You get. I'll say since it's not within your sight, but it is kind of hidden, you get one faint heat return within the building here. You don't learn anything else about that.
I will point out on comms, the building over there has a heat signature. Don't know what it is.
So I would imagine that like a lot of the architecture around this place is kind of old. I'm noticing that the place has like a fence around it.
Yep.
Is that? I guess I'll lump this in with a more general question, which is like, okay, so we know that there is a heat signature inside Yay building here. Is there any indication that this place is seeing any sort of use right now, like visually? Like, does the place look like lived in and occupied in any sense?
Give me a shit. What are the checks again?
We kind of make a case for them ourselves, don't we?
Yeah, that's right. Give me a skill check.
That's true.
That makes it
hold
easy
on,
for
I
me,
gotta-
actually.
True.
Is there a way to view what skills we have when we're in like combat mode?
Not in combat mode, but when you're in active mode, yes.
Okay.
So
Yes,
you
that's
should
where I'm
be
at
in
right now.
active mode now, but not combat mode.
Yes. I have the skill spot. Spot details, objects, or people that are hidden or difficult to make out.
That works.
I don't know if that... Oh, okay. Then I will roll this and add a +2. Yippee. Woo! I used an old set of dice to do this, and I guess these still have a bit of good luck in them, because that's a 19 + 2 for a 21.
You see a tiny cooking fire right here, right next to the building.
Oh, like it's lit, like it's smoldering?
Yep.
Or... Huh. Okay. Is that the heat signature? Or was it
No.
like actually from inside the building?
No, there is a heat signature that registers as some sort of humanoid within the building.
Understood. Okay. I'd say like when Celis points out that there's a heat signature, Rita chimes in like, "Yep, there's a," like points over at the fire. Someone's here and they are not here just someone's living here. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. They might not like us taking the 3D printer or whatever scrap they have here.
No, and it's also not entirely clear. Well, it's not clear what they have to defend it, really. That's what I'm looking for.
I would say assume hostility regardless.
Oh, of course. I mean, we've got the big killing machines. I'm going to assume that they probably have big killing machines if they've got the thing that makes big killing machines.
True. How about someone investigates?
Rita's going to, like, slowly turn their head towards Ian.
Tugs at the collar of my shirt.
I mean,
Fine.
Justitia's not here, but it's...
I think Justicia would be the worst person to send in.
Well, I was going to say, like, Justitia's not here, but, like, you know, I'm having thoughts right now. Rita says, like, one eye closed, like, pointing their fingers as if a gun, like, at the building. Avery is mimicking the motion, but is holding a grenade launcher.
I will investigate.
If I look at the scene, could I reasonably say, oh, wait, hang on, sorry, never mind. I realize that there is grid, so I can actually measure how effective I can be.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Each grid is 10 meters across. Vaguely. The dimensions in Lancer are wonky, but yeah, just divide by 10, you'll get how many squares you can move.
I think I can also boost. So if you boost, that doubles your movement, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so Codis is going to clap Ian on the back and just be like, look, if anything bad happens, I'll fly in and help out.
I
What's the
will
word?
also,
Touch me.
I will also prepare my Anti-material rifle.
I think Ian's actually slips out of the mech and then he crawls in, invisible, to investigate the heat signature.
Crawls in?
Scurries.
He does when he does stealth, he does scurry like a hill rat.
Oh my goodness.
But he's
All right.
invisible. If
All
people could see it, they would be very freaked out.
Yeah. No one
Listen,
can see
Ian
it.
is a deeply unsettling little guy when it comes to it.
He is.
He's
That's
our
very fair.
deeply unsettling guy.
You guys have known each other for
Yeah.
1 day.
And we can comfortably just Ian as deeply unsettling.
Sure, yeah. Okay. Ian, you are moving up. You're invisible. You are stealthed. What are you doing? Doesn't look like anyone. You're about 30 feet away from the house at this point, from the building. What do you do?
I'm just gonna go as close as possible, see if I can see anyone in there.
Okay, you're gonna approach the house and.
Yeah.
Looks like a 2-story building, flat roof, made out of ramshackle scraps and pieces of sheet metal, nailed and welded together in a very haphazard fashion. But inside, it looks very homey. Looks very not fancy, but lived in and nice. There are gas lamps lighting on the walls. No one on the first floor, looks like. You've kind of scoured around the dirty windows and no one on the first floor.
Can I hear anybody on the second floor?
Do you want to try and get on the second floor? There's a balcony, but you would have to climb the balcony.
I'm gonna crawl up the balcony, yeah.
Gosh. Okay.
Like a frog.
Do you have any tools, gear, or things that can help you? Or is this just going to be a check?
Give me a second. No, I think it's just gonna be me crawling.
All right, give me a skill check.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. No, none of my skill triggers really work here.
You're a tree
Well,
frog.
stay cool. Do something that requires concentration, speed, or intense precision under pressure. Crawling.
You're not. You're not under pressure right now.
I'm always under pressure. I have social anxiety.
Intense precision under pressure. You know what? Sure, whatever.
Yes. Can't believe that worked.
I'll say if you fail, you will fall off, take a couple damage, and possibly alert who's ever inside.
So, 16.
Oh, good. Okay. Like I said, this place is very ramshackle, so there's lots of pieces of rebar and metal and scrap just sticking out of the wall that you can easily shamble your way up your corpse-like body along the wall and pop yourself onto the balcony. There's a tiny little creak as you put your foot down. However, you shift your weight to another portion of the balcony that's better supported by a steel joist, and the creak is lessened. You peer in through the dirty, sand-covered windows, and looks like there is someone in a bed, just kind of reading a book, facing away from you. It's hard to tell what they look like, but they do look humanoid.
Is there any is the window open, or?
I will say yes. It's a very nice day out. There's a nice breeze going through. The window is cracked. You would have to open it more to get yourself inside.
Is it windy?
It is a little windy.
Weird.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
I'm just gonna slowly pull open the window so to make it look like it's the wind being weird.
Oh, okay.
I'm still invisible, so it just does look like it's just the
you are
window.
invisible.
Slowly.
It's a sliding window, so the wind would have to be very strange to slide the window up.
Shit, it's a sliding window? Okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, God.
European windows are different.
Are they like easier to open than American windows?
No, they kind of open like outwards. They hinge, so the wind could open a window over there. I think it's more common.
Yeah. Okay. Plan B. Plan B. Plan B. I don't know. Is there any like loose? Is there like a plant or like a loose thing on the balcony I can throw?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's tons of plants out here. It looks like whoever's house this is, they have a mini little garden out here.
I'm gonna push a couple of things onto the floor of the balcony to make a noise.
Okay. The clay pots of a gigantic basil plant shatter on the sheet metal of the balcony, creating a huge clattering noise. The person in the bed immediately jumps up, holding some sort of handgun aimed out the balcony. Seeing the broken pot, they immediately holster it and start walking over. You see, this is a very grizzled old man, missing one leg, one arm on alternate sides of his body, replaced by prostheses. Additionally, it looks like instead of normal ears, this person has had prosthetic cat ears attached to their head.
Okay.
Cat man. Also, Celis would just whisper over comm, like, did he just fuck up that basil?
Ian's not gonna say anything because he's right next to the guy.
As you get
Come on,
closer,
it's
you
kind
see
of
this
just a
person.
waste.
This person has a long beard. They kind of reminds you of, well, out of character. They're very old trucker vibes, except with cat ears.
You'd come across like an Uncle Iroh, but gamer girl.
I think so. Ian's just gonna wait right next to the door until the guy comes out.
He kind of huffs and says, shit. God damn it. Hops out on.
Is he out the door?
He creaks open the door and has begun scooping up the dirt. And opens a storage bin on the balcony and retrieves a new pot.
I pull out my gun and I put the back of his head.
Okay.
Don't move.
Oh my god!
Shit. Alright. What do you want? I won't do anything. Just don't do something stupid. What do you want?
How many of us are there?
Oh, so from the fucking junkyard? It's just me.
So no one would stop us if we go get the. He can't go with comms. What are we getting?
The 3D printer.
The
Do
3D
we
printer.
see this as it's going on?
It's
No,
inside
I'm
the.
invisible, so it's just this dude.
Yeah, you can't hear it. You can't see this. The guy has been cleaning up the dirt and then immediately freezes. That's all you guys see.
So, nope.
I didn't even
No one will
turn
stop us getting the 3D printer.
it. Didn't even turn it on. How'd you find it?
I'm the one asking questions here.
Just I don't want to get hurt. Sure, take it.
Goes over to company. Okay, move in and take it.
Should.
We hear over the comms, move in and take it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna move in and take it.
Well,
Alright.
goddamn.
Keep an eye on that guy.
Don't tell me what to do. I will not.
Actually, do you two want to handle taking it, and then I'll stay here in case anything goes awry with Ian?
That sounds wise.
I like that idea.
Rita, are you familiar with the engineering behind these things?
It's out of character, probably, right? Like, super familiar, surely.
That's up to you. These are used to make mechs. It'd be asking, like, how familiar you are with a car manufacturing factory.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, you guys all have mini 3D printers, mass fabricators in your mechs used to print mech systems and, repair material and stuff. But it's a little different to have a mech-sized 3D printer and mass fab unit.
Okay, with that in mind, I've been around them a little bit. I figure they're not too different from the small ones. They're just really big.
Well, you're familiar with machinery in general, then?
Yeah, I built Avery.
All right, perfect. Then we're the best people for the job, then. Let's get out as soon as possible, then.
The man is going to start talking to you, Ian.
Look, I paid my tithe to you guys. Why are you doing this now?
Who do you think I am?
Are you not the fire riders who keep harassing me?
Can we hear this
That
conversation?
depends.
No.
What's a fire rider?
Oh boy.
Can I have you make a skill check?
Which one?
Just give me a d20.
Ooh. Uh-oh. A 10, right in the middle.
Okay. In this moment of confusion, Ian, where you ask, what's a fire rider? The old man whips around very quickly and attempts to grab the gun out of your hand. Unfortunately, you
Do I see this?
Where are you?
I imagine I am positioned.
Yeah,
So I have a movement of.
Put you guys on the map where you guys are.
Okay. And what side of the building is the window on?
This is the balcony.
Okay. If I'm over here, would it be reasonable? And like, if I'm in my mech, like prepared to jump, would I be out like in the open? Would I be visible over here, or would I need to move back further?
Absolutely, you'd be visible. But the guy has been, he's facing this way he was facing this way with a gun in his head, so you might be out of his visual range. And yes, you can see this happen with your mech sensors, but there's nothing you can do unless you want to completely obliterate the house. Or hop out of your mech and use your pilot-sized gear.
Oh, true, yeah. All right, so for now, I'll stay there, but I'll, just keep my reflexes up in case anything happens.
Okay. So as this concludes, the old man tries to grab control of the gun, but just since you rolled a 10 and barely succeeded, the gun comes out of your hands, but he does not gain control of it, and it scatters onto the balcony and falls off the edge.
I punch him.
You punch him? After he knocks it out of your hands, it doesn't look like he's going to attack you, but if you want to punch him, you can continue.
Isn't Ian also invisible right now?
He is invisible. But, the gun was pressed up against his head, so he can feel where that was.
I should clarify. It's knocking the gun away makes sense because you have an immediate, you can feel it on the back of your hand. On the back of your head, Jesus. Yep. It's like he doesn't look like he's going to fight you, but how would he?
Yeah,
because he cannot see.
He cannot see. He's kind of stunned when you're invisible. But
I'm gonna kidney punch the motherfucker.
How does your invisibility work on your invisibility thing? Doesn't it? Oh, that you cease to be invisible if you take any damage. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
You're gonna kidney punch the old man. Got
kidney
it.
Punch. And I think that skill trigger takes somebody out.
Do you want to kill him with the kidney punch?
No, I can kill or disable.
Okay. Yeah, skill check with take someone out. Actually, no, not take someone out, because that's... Take someone out is stealthy. You're not being stealthy. You're engaging in actual fighting. So that's just a normal... If you have it in...
He can't see me.
It's still fighting. If you have fist to...
Fine.
Apply fist to faces, then you could use that. But that's for, like, brawling.
I do not. No.
Yeah.
No, I just have kidney punch. That's my own skill tree.
Kidney punch.
Kidney punch, yeah.
Alright. What's that roll?
12.
12. Yeah, that beats it. So, kidney punch this old man. What's your goal? Is it to knock him out?
Think more to pacify him for a moment.
Okay, yeah. He doubles over and oh, what? Oh, where are you? And he throws up as he keels over in a fetal position. You see him reach for his gun.
I just smack my boot down on his hand.
Yep, that stops it.
Are you done?
You guys really fucking picked up your antics, haven't you?
What do you mean?
You're not with him. Are you? Who are you?
Ask one more question. I'm gonna take out my knife. I'm gonna cut off your tongue. I'm gonna make you eat it.
That shuts him up.
Wow.
Thought so. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
Approaching the 3D printer. How is your situation?
It's being handled.
Okay, I will assume that you are being truthful then. And Celis will approach the area.
Okay. You approach the 3D printer. It looks similar to the ones you have on your mechs, just, massive. Could fit a size 1 mech in it. And there are cables leading from the printer into a large, some sort of generator unit over here. Ignore the map right now. It is not glowing, but it could be glowing, perhaps.
All right. From the looks of it, does this seem to be something that could be, I guess, what's the word? Deconstructed or minimized for transportation? Or is this something that is built for this location?
This is a massive printer. You would need at least a size 3 vehicle to move it. 2 size 3 vehicles, because it's 2 parts. And you're not even sure if it works.
Well, this is a bit difficult. So with our current equipment, I am not sure if we can move this. Perhaps we can signal the others to move on over here?
They, as you left that previous kind of camp, all of their mech's power is being used to currently move the NHP into a new casket, so they are immobile for this time.
Damn, well...
I mean, so far in this place, this is maybe one of the few decent, actual settlements we've come across. Do you think there's any means that we could reason to try and settle here, at least for a bit, and figure out what we're doing as we go?
I would not mind that, having some, albeit quite thin, walls. It wouldn't be the worst place to hole up in for a while. Ian, how goes that negotiation with whoever's here? Is there any attempts for cohabiting?
I could kill them.
Well,
no, don't do that.
I mean, that is an option.
I'm not talking to you. He looks on the guy. Be quiet.
Well, is the person hostile?
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, that's something. Okay,
Guys, is this
well...
what it feels like to be a DM when you're for like a murder hobo party?
Hey, I haven't murdered anybody yet.
We are calculating. Well, it seems that we will be having to cohabitate at the moment. So, if
How long
needed,
is a moment?
have as long as we're on this planet, this might be the best place to settle on for a while. We can't move this printer, and we have no ship to transport it.
I look back down at the hideous guy. How many guns do you have in the house? Don't lie.
3. Sidearm, rifle, shotgun.
Where's the rifle and the shotgun?
Lockbox downstairs.
I take his sidearm and I pocket it and it turns invisible when it gets close to my body and it disappears.
All right.
We're gonna be staying here for the moment. Don't get any ideas.
Who's we? How many more there are you?
I just make sure that my knife makes a sound as I take it out. I said what would happen if you ask one more question. Okay. I put the knife back in the back of my pocket. Okay. I take my foot off his hand and I just jump back off the balcony and disappear.
All right, you guys are gonna watch the old man kind of hobble over to the balcony and survey. He's gonna look immediately shocked and terrified as he sees 4 lumbering mechs approach his property.
Wait, they're not us?
No, the 4 lumbering mechs are you guys.
Oh, okay.
He's terrified of you guys.
Oh.
For the
Celis
record,
will actually walk on over to the fence area to approach him, and she's actually going to pop open her hatch and stand up with her hands behind her back to just look at him greetings. Thank you for allowing us on your property. We'll try not to be long.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, where's your... Deal with them yourself. He's gonna go inside.
Ian, any information on what he is talking about?
There appears to be some people called the DM. What were they called again? The fire.
I'm not gonna answer you until you get my name right.
GM.
They were the fire riders.
The fire. The DM says the fire riders.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Riders.
Local miscreants?
Probably. He thought we were them.
Well then, if we want to settle here for a while and make use of this printer, then I would suggest we take care of these people, because they are going to most likely get in our way at some point or another.
I agree on that one. And if we can take them out before they even know that we exist, then that'll be a win.
That man in that house can consider it payment, I guess.
Payment for what? I was being very nice.
I can only ascertain how your negotiations went.
What are you implying?
Well, I'm guessing you threatened him. Which, well, I don't honestly care, but...
I did no such thing.
She will just, like, give him a very skeptic look.
Wait, you're looking, I'm still invisible.
God.
You never know why.
Oh, are you invisible again?
I'm always invisible.
Is there any limit to the invisibility?
It's only when he takes
It
damage.
doesn't say.
Oh, shit.
When this is insane.
Celis will just give her
Now,
cockpit's camera a
I will-
skeptic look then.
I will say, when you're invisible, someone with adequate sensors can still see you. So if you're in a mech,
Yeah.
you can see the heat return and, radar return or millimeter wave returns. So you can still see Ian. It's just, it looks very different.
But people not in mechs, he's
Correct.
invisible to them.
Correct, yeah. There's just a faint shimmer of where he is. And if he stays still, he's completely invisible. Someone would have to have mech level sensors or some sort of like head mounted sensor array to see invisibility.
All right. Did he say where these riders were? Or when they'll stop by?
He did
No,
not.
but he implied they would come eventually.
Well then.
I didn't get a time frame.
All right. Can we make use of any... Can I make use of a drone, perhaps? Send it upwards to see if there's any dust clouds approaching?
Old man calls out and says, "Start up that printer and they'll show up, I guarantee you."
Oh, well. I guess that could work as well. All right. I guess we should prepare then.
He goes back into his house, cackling to himself.
What a weird guy. Anyway.
Yeah, weird guy. He just gets assaulted by an invisible man. Yeah, weird guy.
I mean...
I don't know who you're talking about.
He should just be reasonable.
Yeah, I was being so nice to him. I don't know. He's still alive.
Jesus Christ.
I can excuse some physical assault. However, I draw the line at the destruction of a basil plant.
Can excuse physical assault?
Okay, so
Yeah, this is what DMing a murder hobo party's like.
Rita, you've been examining the mass fab unit in the 3D printer, right?
Yep, I'm like, okay, Goth Chick is having her conversation over there. I'm gonna take a peek around and see what we're working with here.
Give me a skill check.
Would you take invent or create in the sense that part of the description is invent new approaches to problems?
Yeah, sure. Do you have hack and do you have hack and fix as well?
Yes, I have both skills.
Yeah, you get a
I
bonus
do
then.
too.
Whichever is higher.
They're both the same.
And you get your bonus.
Cool. Maybe I'm going to start using this dice more often, because my second roll of the night's an 18 plus 2.
In the
Nice.
meantime, I could go feed baby real quick.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay. So, it looks intact from what you know about examining the micro versions of this system on your own mechs. Everything is as it should. The gantry is free and clear. You kind of can hand crank some of the movable axes, and it all moves. The hot end and extruder and assembly vanes and all that, they look in adequate shape. Then you move over to the mass fab unit, and it looks like the reactor is inactive but fueled.
Okay.
So it might just be a process of starting it up and letting it warm up, which on a printer of the size on your mechs takes 10 minutes or so, but this printer could take quite a while to warm up, maybe an hour or so.
Okay. I have a question. Did I hear the portion of the conversation between Celis and Plant having man regarding, like, if you turn it on, this group, who is otherwise unidentified, is going to come here? Did I hear that part?
Yeah, because he screamed it out of his house. Unless,
Cool.
Yeah.
With that in mind, do I have any prior knowledge, or could I use a skill check to ascertain whether or not there would be some way to...
Back.
What?
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, nice. Would there be some way for me to, I guess, directly comparing this to, like, a real-life piece of technology? Would there a way to be, like, scrub the metadata or, like, clear the cookie cache or something with this, where it's like, this no longer has the send a distress signal to the group of bandits program inside of it? I figure we have to power it on to do that, because you have to have a computer on to do anything with it.
Yeah, you'd have to power it on to make that check first.
Damn it. Okay. Well...
Oh, what's the holdup? You guys are in 4 big murder robots. You can handle anything, I thought I heard you say.
That is not the quote that was said. Okay, my next instinct then is that the only way that that signal would be getting out would be through some sort of wireless transmission equipment. Could I examine... I don't know how much of the 3D printer itself is primarily mechanical bits. I'm going to assume that since there are wires going between the 3D printer and this big, what I would assume, it's either a power unit or it's a processing unit. I'm going to assume it's not wireless.
It's the mass fab unit. It's used to create the material for the printer and power supply, yes.
Okay, so it's power supply, but the actual, like, computation bit, does that occur inside the printer?
Both units have intense computing power.
Shit. Okay.
And working around these things, that the interior of them is very complicated, and poking around for an antenna, you could do it. Easy enough, but there's a non-zero chance that you completely break it.
Well...
It's like poking around inside a... like a car, essentially. You start taking out pieces of the car, you might not remember how to put it back together.
I'll just take a GoPro video of myself taking it apart. Easy peasy.
Perhaps we might have to just do this the difficult way, because nonetheless, I believe these bandits, or whoever they are, will end up bothering us one way or another.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Also, we could hide in the trash and get the jump on them.
Well,
I like the way you think. I will say, I will just put it out there. It's based on, if we're trusting Plant Man over there, if we're trusting that we turn this on and we immediately have, if we immediately have bogeys on our tails, it just means that we fight them how we are. We don't know if these people are like ex-military. We don't know if these people have a bunch of equipment on them.
Man,
Whereas
if only you had someone you could have asked all these questions to.
I regret nothing, and I don't have an implication that I
We
should.
could
So cool.
hypothetically threaten him more to answer our questions.
You two can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna turn invisible. I'm gonna
gonna fly
it.
onto the roof with my mech, get out of my mech, and then hop down to the balcony
Okay.
to join.
Can I finish my sentence first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's the last of my dialogue is that the alternative is that we take the slight risk of repair liability, and we potentially find a way to make it so that A, we don't immediately summon enemies, B, we can deal with the enemies in the future after we have completely kitted the fuck out of our mechs with this brand spanking new 3D printer. You see what I'm saying? I think we have a lot better chance if we have mechs with like 10 machine guns on them, hypothetically.
Well, technically true, but I don't know how much matter this printer can put out at the moment. And I don't know how long... Well, I do know that it would probably take very long to print everything. And I'm not the biggest fan of all the uncertainties at the moment.
That's fair. I suppose we could also, if these fire riders or whatever they're called, if they're off planet, then if we call them here, we immediately have some sort of space traveling vessel that comes down, and we can at least negotiate.
Negotiations, most likely, but I would rather avoid negotiating with seems to be bandits.
Or we can kill all of them and we can take their airship.
Either way, we're negotiating with or without an advantage or a disadvantage based on how well we punch their faces in.
Yeah, speaking of punching people's faces in, as I recall, you two were about to gang up on Mr. Man in there.
All right, let me make sure I get this right. Codis, you're landing your mech on a scrap heap of a house.
Oh, I thought it was like a small like apartment building type thing.
Yeah, made out of scrap metal.
Okay. Landing over there instead.
Right? With a huge whoosh of fire jets, Codis blasts off and lands next to the house as Tree Frog sneaks back in. You see the man kind of peering out from the windows, gazing at the sky over horizon. Doesn't notice you walk in.
Right. Ian, you lead, and if it seems like you start to lose him, I'll help out. Or if you want me to do any kind of threatening or punching, just let me know.
I turn visible.
All right. You head in. You see the man.
Hello.
You'd beat me some more.
Possibly.
You didn't start off on
What
the right
do you
foot
know
here.
of the... Are you sassing me?
He just huffs.
What do you know of the fire riders? Tell us everything. Now.
Give me a skill check.
Please.
Oh.
I said please! Does that count?
Give me a skill check. Do you have like some sort of conversation or persuasive or intimidation based skill?
Yeah, please guess if Ian has any conversational skills.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't.
So this will be a harder roll because you've already fucking attacked him.
Ooh, 8.
Nope.
Fuck off.
I pull out my knife.
Oh, he can't see that. Never mind.
What?
You're invisible.
No, I'm visible. I'm visible now.
Oh, you came visible?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ugh. You're kind of ugly.
What did you say?
I called you ugly. I'm also calling you deaf right now. Look, I ain't got shit here. If you're gonna kill me, do it.
I'm gonna turn back to Codus and just go, you take over, or I will take out his kidney.
Codus will walk in, not holding any weapons, but she will sort of like do that like punching her fist into like her hand motion as she walks in.
Ooh.
And then
Now you're
we'll
more
just
my
say,
type.
oh, I'm sure I'll be your type by the end of the night.
Ew.
You with him?
Yeah, I am.
Ugh.
You with anybody?
Me and my scrap.
Looks like some good company.
Family run. 15 generations.
Wow, really exciting.
Of course,
Look.
the generations are pretty short.
Yeah, I bet. Except it seems like your generation didn't seem that short.
Because I'm smart.
I see. Now, you can prove to me that you're smart by telling us what we want to know about these people that come in once we start up that big old printer over there.
Oh, you'll find plenty about them when they come.
Yeah, but we want to know before they come. That's the thing.
Well, you shouldn't have put a gun to my head then.
Is it really that hard to just tell us what you know about them? If you don't, I'm going to punch you a lot.
Give me a skill check.
A skill check to punch or a skill
No.
check to talk?
Skill check to talk.
All right, that's going to be convince.
Sure.
Let me... So that's a D20 plus 2.
Yeah.
Nat
Nice.
20.
Damn, all right. As long as your blue friend over there doesn't lay a hand on me, I guess I can tell you a little bit.
Tell away.
Ask a question.
Oh. I'm going to talk on comms. Hey, guys, what do you want to know about these people that are going to show up?
Your capabilities. What weaponry do they have? Do they have mechs of their own?
What's their affiliation? Rita's now like chewing gum.
Nice.
Cyber
Right.
gum.
So, when they come in on mechs. What kind of mechs? What kinds of weapons? Any kind of equipment we should know about? Are they affiliated with anybody that you know of?
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
One at a time.
When they come in, what equipment do they use?
They got mechs. Tiny mechs.
Tiny. Smaller
Yeah.
than the ones we have?
Yeah. But the fast. Real fast.
I'll relay that to the others.
Well,
Well, they're not faster than bullets.
if they're fast and lightweight, that means they're not the most armored, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
It means they'll die to bullets.
You remember what kind of weapons they showed up with?
Impact weapons. Javelins.
Impact?
Lances. Lassos.
All right. I'll relay that to the others too.
Lassos? Who the
Bullet.
uses lassos? Okay, anyway.
It's Rita, like, literally Because, like, wow. Quietly to themselves, like, having Ferris Lash and having used it many times last combat, which is effectively a lasso. Wow. I'm right here. Anyway.
All right. You know anything about if they're part of a group, if they're part of a larger organization, or they're just that small group that come in independently?
I fucking told you they're fire riders. Big ass raiding group. They just send a few of 'em over here to torment me.
So it is a larger group, but then they send in squads.
Hey.
All right. I relay that to the others too. It seems like even if we take these guys out, we might be making an enemy of their group as a whole.
Well, I can only respond in a... I'm sure they only have limited response timing in taking care of one small party of their group, which, depending on how barbaric they are, they could just, I don't know, assume that they didn't die and are just drinking or doing whatever the hell they do in their free time. And in that time, we could be printing new weaponry for ourselves.
Let's say time check. We have 45 minutes left in the session until we have to go a little bit over, so...
So it's, okay, going back to, like, our original prospective objective was take the 3D printer and shove it somewhere else so that we can use it. It seems like transporting it is not an option here. It also seems like if we try and take the route of we disable the distress signal capabilities of this machine, there's a prospect that we break it. Otherwise, we should probably just turn it on and start fighting baddies.
Yeah. Which, if we... so I assume that if we do that multiple times, then it'll become an issue, but then, like, if we take out one group, they're not going to immediately send in a giant group that'll just, like, be impossible for us.
Or they could do that.
Could do that.
In which case, we make it so our prints are really good prints, and then we make the best of it.
We can also just send a message to the others and tell them to get over here as soon as possible. That way we can make the most of our time.
Well, this thing can print up to size 1 mechs, right? Is there any mech anybody wants?
I guess a secondary question would also be, how long does printing a size 1 mech take?
A day.
A day. Do I feel like whatever is going to come here and kill us would get here within a day?
You did mention that their mechs are fast.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the old man how long it takes between starting up the printer and those bad guys showing up.
I don't know. Never started it up.
So then how do you know they show up?
Because it was theirs. Stole it from them.
Oh. How'd that happen?
It wasn't always just me. I'm not getting into it with you, though.
Or something?
I'm not getting into it with you.
Yeah, all right. But so this place was occupied by those guys. You and a group took over. Since then, have they come in to attack you?
No, this place was always mine.
So then how do you know that if we start up that printer right now, that they'll come and find us?
Because I was tinkering around in the code and found it hard-coded to let them know. Stupid.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't really need to have brains to do what I do.
Hey, you should relay that part to Rita. You should tell Rita about that part.
I'm going to tell Rita and Celis that part.
Let's go. Okay, so if he's tinkered around in the code with this thing, that means he had to have turned it on at some point. Which, to me, means we can turn it on and we'll be okay. Because if he has never encountered these guys after turning it on, tinkering through the code, then cool. Right? It's like, someone tell me if I'm wrong here.
You can think that.
I meant someone from
That's
the
the worst response to get.
To be honest, he's probably been tinkering with scrap for all of his life. Maybe close to this, but I have yet to work with a system like this. How confident are you in your skills of handling something like that?
Confident enough. If anything, are we sure we can't work with this guy? Like, he's already popped the hood on this thing. He could tell us a lot. If he's accessed the portion of the code where it says, hey, scream at the bandits every time you turn this thing on, if you can access the code, you can delete the code.
You have a point. How about we forget the fact that Ian tried to kill him, or we can say put that in our pockets just for now. We extend an invitation to protect him, and in exchange, we get this thing working, and we handle any of the consequences.
Yeah, diplomacy.
He called me ugly.
You are ugly.
Have you never been called ugly before in your life, Ian?
I don't think anyone's seen him before in his life.
I turn invisible immediately.
Everyone has their own.
Can't see your tears if you're invisible. And I think Coitus can very clearly hear Ian just walking out.
You just casually called her coitus.
You definitely just said coitus.
It's so similar.
That's for a reason, baby.
All right, old man. We got an offer for you. You can take it or you can get punched a lot. We're gonna protect you, but we need you to help our resident techie get into that printer. So you're gonna follow me.
I have a choice.
Cool. I lead the way.
Right, you drag him out of the house. He walks with you to the printer. What are you having him do?
I'm just handing him off to Rita.
Hello.
What?
Well, hi. I'm Rita. Nice to meet you. Rita extends their hand in a handshake. I see you've met some of my friends here.
Against my will.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
To be fair, we also met against our own wills, so...
Yeah, so about that. We're making the best of our situation here, right? And it's maybe against the judgment of these two, and I vaguely reference Codis and Ian. I think that we have an opportunity for a mutually beneficial situation here. We have the skills necessary to get this printer up and running, and based on what I've heard, you've tinkered around with this thing and you found the section where it tells the bandits that it gets turned on. And if you found that section, I think it's easy enough for us to turn off that section. Maybe even...
Not on this printer.
Why not?
No, I found the code in another printer. This is the second one I've stolen from them.
Oh. What happened with the first printer?
They blew it up when I turned it on.
Blew it up how?
How the fuck you think?
Well, you're not being very... They could have used guns to blow it up. They could have put a bomb inside it.
All of the above.
Cool, interesting. All right, well, if I was going to hypothetically locate this section of code within this device, where would I find it?
No clue.
Okay, we might just
How do you
need to...
figure?
I never poked around in this one.
But you poked around in another printer.
Yeah, who's to say they're the same?
Basically every standardization metric in the galaxy. But you know what? It's fine. Whatever. Okay. How's about this then? We get to chill here and work on this printer, hang around in the area, and in the meantime, we can at least pretend to be friendly. Does that work out for you?
No. Fuck you.
What difference does it make that he doesn't hide that he hates us? We don't like him either.
I don't need his... I don't need his love or anything. I just want to get this done.
Oh, I know. It's easier when we are not quite so instantly hostile, but I'll do what I need to. And it's like, this is like said with like a vein popping, like a very minor vein popping out of Rita's forehead, and like Avery emerges from a pile of trash, like a pile of dead leaves. Like, look at this big rock I found.
Good job.
And like, it's also GM. You can tell me if I'm like role playing out of line here. I like the idea that Avery like emerges with a nice. It's like a nice boulder in their hand, and they just look over and see Rita like being slightly cross with this person, and Avery just gets kind of shifts from like happy smile face to like neutral face. Is like, am I tossing the rock at this guy? Am I tossing the rock? Just say the word. Just say the word. I will toss the rock.
Does Avery have a facial display on the mech?
Reality can be whatever I want it to be.
Sure, yeah, I'm just asking.
Let's do it. I like it. I
Great.
think that's fun.
So what are you guys doing? You've spent about 2 hours in this junkyard now.
Well.
I say we turn it on, deal with whatever force comes our way, and wait for reinforcements from our side.
Let's do that.
Can I at least pop the hood on this thing for just a minute, just to see if I can find an antenna, right? Because it's literally as simple as I snap it in half and then I don't touch anything else and it's fine.
Do you want to do that?
Which thing? I listed like 5 things.
Do you want to pop it open and see what you can find in there? Tinker around inside.
I mean, sure. It's okay. Do I pose inherent risk of breaking the machine just by opening it up and taking a look?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Well, if this thing has the potential to blow up the literal second that we turn it on, I think me poking around a little bit in it is not the worst thing that could happen. But, like, I don't know. There's 3 people here. You can stop me. You can disagree with me.
Out of character, what is your bonus to your hack and fix?
My hack and fix is +2.
Mine is +4.
That's crazy.
So perhaps Celis can try and look at it?
I mean, you can convince Rita to not look at it before you do that, because Rita really wants to do it.
What if we both did it together?
I will tentatively agree with that.
2 hands is better than 1.
It's Rita wants to see Celis. Rita's kind of in the weird situation where it's like, I want to see if this person is as competent as they make themselves out to be. Also, at the same time, it's just like, wow, I do not like being ordered, and Celis is the person who does the ordering.
I mean, she is, but
so there's like a little bit of conflict in Rita's head, but it's like, okay, let's take a look at this together. I will tentatively agree.
all right. Celis will do some quick scans and perusals of the outside, and very carefully, she's actually going to adjust some of her joints to be a bit more what is it called? It's like lowering their mouse sensitivity.
Flexible. Accurate.
Yes.
So
her movements are a bit more. She's modifying her joints, so her movement is a bit more smooth and slow, but more precise.
Okay. And you're opening it up?
Yep.
All right, give me a skill check. This is a difficult skill check, so the DC is increased.
do I get to help with it?
You don't get to help, you get to make a separate check. If either of you fail, then it breaks.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's a nat 20.
Okay, nat 20.
So that's a 24.
Oh, with a difficult? Because if it's difficult, you need to roll with disadvantage.
You don't not roll with disadvantage. It's a difficult roll. This does not this does not add difficulty to your roll. It's just a difficult roll means the DC has been increased to 20.
Oh, well, okay. It's
lowercase difficult instead of uppercase difficult.
Yeah, it's
great.
A weird
Perfect.
thing. So you need to roll. You need to roll. We need to 20.
Be clear with the terminology.
Rita, you need to roll a 20.
Okay, and it does not matter that Celis also rolled. Okay.
You want to opt out? Does Celis look
It's a matter
like
of
she's...
pride.
It's a double or nothing thing. You get more information if you both do it, but you can also have a double chance of breaking it.
Okay. Well, I mean, this dice has rolled a 19 and an 18 so far tonight. Let's see if it rolls a 20.
Oh, God.
You won't believe it.
Is it a 20?
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh my god.
I like this dice. I'm going to start using this dice again.
All right. Well, you open it up, you poke around inside, and you do not find an antenna. However, you also do not find a bomb. You have scanned it. There is no bombs.
No bombs?
Bombs?
No bombs. You want it?
They're yours, my friend.
As long as you have enough rubies. Okay. So, great news. So, there's no antennas, and there does not... I mean, I don't know. I guess antenna is like one way that wireless transmission can happen, but it's kind of a primary way that wireless transmission happens. Yeah, if there's not wireless transmission equipment on the inside of this thing. Well, okay, is it there's no antennas or there is no identifiable wireless transmission equipment inside this thing?
You poked around inside with it off, and there's no identifiable antennas that you can see. In order to find transmissible things, you'd probably have to turn it on and actually scan for emissive elements.
Okay. Well, the good news is we didn't find a bomb. So if we turn this on, we're not going to die instantly.
Tell me, did you happen to steal the generator from these fire riders as well?
Are you talking to the man?
What's over there?
Yeah, to the man.
Hey, yeah.
I'll just look at Rita. And look. Any possibility of the generator having anything?
I mean, it has some sort of power core, which I guess could explode. Like, if it's nuclear, then yeah, it can explode, and then we will all die. But
I meant more along the lines of transmitters.
oh, it's probably not terribly likely. This, as I understand it, is it's a material station. It's a power station. I don't believe it handles the computation process. I'm pretty sure that happens inside the printer. GM, if you would have me make a skill check.
Yeah, I mean
to
like
that.
the generator that is wired up to on the other side of the path.
Huh?
Hang on.
I'm confused.
This generator.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. That's also the construction station, or it's like the material bay, or whatever it's called.
Mass fab
okay.
unit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just learned the terminology. It's my interpretation is that this is not where that sort of communication is going to be occurring. We could probably poke around inside of it too, if you want to be doubly sure. But I figure we could also probably. I turn to Plant Man, and it's how big was the explosion when the last one blew up?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay. So it's okay. We don't know how big the boom boom is. If this thing has the boom boom inside of it. Like, I don't know. We survived falling from space.
Yeah, I'd say we turn it on. Keep an eye on any transmissions coming out of it if there are, and be on standby.
Okay. And it's assuming that this thing does not immediately blow up, then I'm going to get in here and just start sifting through as much code as I can find.
Very well. Worst
Okay.
case scenario, we have to shoot some bandits that are annoying us. Best case scenario, nothing happens. And we have pretty new mechs.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been established that Avery has the capability of scanning satellites and gleaning data from them. Would there be a prospective method by which Avery could tap into this machine, assuming that it is engaging in wireless transmissions, and potentially try to scramble that output? Or, if nothing else, be able to read the output?
Read the output? Probably. Most outputs are encrypted, so you would need to decrypt it, which would have a delay period. And scramble it? Maybe. Depends on what the output is.
Okay.
Could we hypothetically have one of our two hacky hackers do, like try to scramble and then one try to read it?
No, because if you scramble it, you won't be able to read it. That's the point of scrambling.
Oh.
Okay. Then it's I'd say beyond that, then we could potentially identify a frequency that it's transmitting at and try to jam that specific frequency. But we will need a jamming device. To which I look at my inventor create skill trigger and I wonder if that is acceptable and possible.
Well, your mech is already a jamming device.
Oh, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yippee.
That's an invade. I believe it's an invade option.
It is.
Okay, then yeah, I like the idea of we probably just jam whatever signals are coming out of this thing. If we can't identify a distress signal, then we can at least jam all the signals. Does that sound good to everyone? We power this thing on, we stand by to see if it explodes, and then assuming it doesn't explode, we immediately try and jam any and all frequencies coming out of it so that we avoid a distress signal if possible.
Very well.
Cool.
I think I understood half those words, but sure.
It's power on, see if boom boom, if no boom boom, make sure it's not screaming at anybody.
Oh, sweet. She shines a thumbs up.
Rita returns it.
No worries. We can just have your guns at the ready, in case.
Oh yeah, in case anybody shows up.
Maybe we
Alright.
should spread out to avoid possible explosion, but then following explosion, if we're kind of clumped together and we get bombarded by bombs, then we're all on the same bomb.
Is Ian
True.
Ian back in his mech?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Going
okay.
back to his mech.
Okay, then. So, GM, is it clear how this device powers on? Like,
Yeah.
does some
A switch.
cool? I'm assuming that's like on the side of this thing.
Yeah, there's two switches. You have to power them both on.
Is that like two people have to do it at the same time, or is
No.
that just you do flick flick and it turns on?
Flick them both on.
Cool. Who wants to be our designated flicker?
How about Celis? And then you can be the one to, like, check the signal.
Okay. How about I chill behind the big pile of trash that's between this?
And
That way there's at least some buffer.
I'm gonna regret asking this, but which one are you flicking on first?
Oh boy! Now that's a question.
Is there a specific order that one usually does a 3D printing process?
Not that you know of.
I'll do the mass fab first, then.
Okay. Click. Starts to hum and glow a brilliant blue, but no explosion.
Yippee!
Anything yet?
What?
Any signal yet?
Oh, I'm having Avery actively scan for signals or the like that are coming from this thing.
As soon as it was flicked on, there are two faint, not quite signals, but emissions from this. One's a normal radioactive emission spectra that happens from any reactor. The other is a electric whine, probably from some sort of transformer. But no digital signal.
Good.
All right. And then
Okay, so this one didn't explode. Awesome.
Celis will go over to the printer.
Yep.
And she will turn on that one.
Click. It starts to do a motor test of all of its axes, and Avery, you are scanning the spectra. As soon as it's flicked on, a burst of electromagnetic energy, you sense it through your mech that it's broadcasting something on a frequency.
Jam it immediately.
Okay, give me a tech attack.
It's
It's going to be
Okay.
1d20 plus your tech attack modifier on your mech.
gotcha. I have to remember what that modifier is because I genuinely don't know. Oh, is it attack? Oh, it's. I see it. I just can't read. I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that this physical dice is not going to be nice to me anymore. I'm going to use the owlbear dice just for funsies.
Trust your gut.
How do I use this? Up, there we go.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god!
Well,
I'm just a gamer. I'm just too good.
What is going on?
All right. You.
I feel like over half of the rolls we've all rolled this game have been not 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. You're jamming the signal.
Yippee!
You don't know if it's getting out, but there's a good chance that it's not. Now what?
Okay. Well, we're stopping something from being broadcast, so let's start peeking into this thing while we've got time, or otherwise getting
You're
something
gonna-
set up.
You're going to open up a 3D printer while it's running.
No, I'm talking about the code.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to open it up when it's... You can't... Okay. Sure.
Wait, oh, I'm confused.
like running the computer part.
It's...
Yeah, it's when I say it's. I shouldn't say open up. It's
Boot it up.
It's already...
pull up.
It's booted up. There's no, like, console or anything. It's like a 3D printer.
Can I plug into
Okay.
it?
You can try.
Yeah, that's what I was asking if we could do. If we could like access the operating system, find piratebroadcast.cs and delete it.
Jacking into the mainframe.
It's
All right, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to keep rolling those nat 20s for this because this is. Yep. All right, go ahead.
all right.
Oh god.
Patron, I believe in you.
All right, and I just plug in my hand into it to see anything aside from core systems is there. That is a 19.
What
19 total.
the fuck?
Yes, 19 total.
Oh.
It's hard
But the
coded.
DC's probably.
You
What
can't
was that?
access. You can't access the OS from this port. There's no external. Whatchamacallits, open ports on the outside. Well, there's hardware ports, but there's no software ports that you can access the OS from the outside.
Okay.
With the power of nanotechnology.
Well, I don't think that. Okay, how can some backwater bandits fuck with a sensitive machine like this?
Who said they were bandits?
Me.
Okay.
I don't know. They could be government affiliated.
Oh, that's just what we need, isn't it?
Yeah,
Codicil
Just be the
spam.
Girl Scouts.
so we
I
can
don't
turn
know.
off the machine. Right now, we've got it functionally like cracked and turned on. At least as well as we can crack. It's we've got it jammed. We got it jammed. That's the whole. Time is money right now. If we want to use this thing, we should use it. And if we don't want to use it, we should turn it off.
Yep, because every minute that you keep it running, the frequency is hopping, so you're going to have to keep making those tech saves to keep jamming it.
Wait, so if
okay.
we print something for an hour, are we gonna have to make 60 jamming checks?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, this is going to be an uphill
Which-
battle then, so perhaps we just get it out of the way and kill these people.
We just make it an even hill
Yeah.
battle.
It's out of character. That just means that we have combat next session. Yippee! You know what? I'm down for that.
It'll take
Well,
them
should
time to
we
get here, so we can prepare ourselves and take them by surprise.
But
Yeah.
I will say, now that you have jammed them, you can track the frequency and probably get a bead on where it's transmitting to.
Yeah.
I'll give you that as
Check them.
I'll give you that as a bonus for all these crazy checks. So
Yippee!
you can have a countdown of when they'll arrive. Assuming
Okay,
that they're
but-
transmitting to the people that are arriving and not some sort of base station.
Very well.
All right.
Let's track that shit.
Okay, so it's if we want to print something in the meantime, and in the meantime trace this signal, what do we want to print? We could always print napalm and sticky bombs.
Well,
You can print any gear available in the CompCon thing. You can print armor, any weapons, and any mech that you would have a second level in for your license.
Wait,
don't think
I have
No.
a question. I think I may have fucked something up from leveling up.
Yes.
When we get a license level and we unlock like a weapon or something, so I'm assuming we have to print that weapon to get it in game.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
No, but you guys have printers on your mechs that can print small form factor things like weapons and systems.
Oh, okay.
So all of your things that you got from your first license level, you have on your mech because you printed them using your mech printers, but you can't use a mech printer to print another mech.
Okay, so then this big printer, the only reasonable time we would want to use it is if we want to print a size 1 mech.
Correct. Because
Or a mech of any size, because we can't print those from our local printers.
well, it has to be mech size 1 or half. It can't print size 2 or higher mechs.
Well, yeah, but like the printers on our mechs couldn't print a half-size mech.
Correct. They can only print
Yeah.
systems and weapons.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Is that what you guys are doing? Are you guys gonna let the signal out and just trace it?
Oh,
Well, it's up to Rita.
I think we could definitely. I think there's going to be a little bit of time in which that's valuable because, like you said, we can either discern that the signal is getting closer to us or discern that it is bouncing off of a singular location, at which point it's for sure a mothership, and we have the location of the mothership, I guess. But if we discern that it's coming towards us, we can determine a base rate of how quickly, and then we can jam the signal from there. So it's, in short, it's up until we've discerned enough useful information from it. Yeah, I'm good to quit jamming the signal.
Okay. As soon as the pure signal goes out, you start kind of tracing it, making sure you synchronize with its frequency hopping and try and identify where its paired transceiver is. And after a little bit, couple minutes, 5 minutes, you can calculate that it is about 5 to 10 miles away, and then after a little bit it starts to close. Not quickly, but at a rate of about 40 to 50 miles an hour.
And these people you said were 5 to 10 miles away?
Yep, so they'll be here soon. Just, not instantly.
all
I'll say
right.
Good to know.
10 to 15. So you have about, 5 minutes? No,
Oh,
you have 15 minutes.
all right. So, great news. The pirates are on the surface. They're on their way, and they're 15 minutes away. So, if we're gonna print something, we got to do it now, and we got to make it quick. Otherwise,
Well, you can't print a mech in
Assume-
15 minutes.
no, I'm not talking about a mech. I'm talking about something small.
Oh, well, you can always print something small with your mech printers.
No, but I'm saying we have the big printer.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have the big printer for 15 minutes. So
Maybe we should print a half-size mech.
No, you can't do that.
Oh.
Sorry, half-size mechs takes like 8 hours. There's actual printing times in the handbook.
Wait, a half-size mech? So then how long does it take to print a one-size mech?
24 hours.
Oh, I thought it was 1 hour.
No.
Is there a location in the compendium where I can view these print times?
I would need to find them. I am going off the top of my head right now. I will get you that, though.
Okay, cool. I figure, especially given that we are running up on our time, that if we're going to be doing combat, it's probably next session.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially
You guys...
when we have the collective here.
Yeah, you guys, Jesus, I didn't think it would take this long to decide on what to do with the printer.
Well, we wanted to be thorough and not die instantly.
Mm-hmm. We had important decisions to make.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
Important
and
murder hobo.
And a man to torture.
Important murder hobo and always rolling critical success decisions.
I mean, hey, at least this gives you more time to prep.
Yippee.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
did this
here we
for
go.
you.
Here's the time. Yeah, for me, definitely. Here's the thing. Schedule 1 printers are the most common. They are operated by one person. They can print objects up to size 1. Printing a size half or size 1 mech from a Schedule 1 printer takes anywhere from 2 to 8 hours. So I was wrong partially. A full size 1 mech would take 8 hours. A half size mech would take probably 4 hours.
Okay. Is there additional times for what we could print on this thing while we have a moment?
You could print
Is there anything we can print in under 15 minutes?
pilot gear.
Cool. I mean, I guess I'll take one of those invisible suits that Ian's got if we've got the time for it.
Sure. You used your 15 minutes to make an invisibility suit. That replaces your existing suit.
Oh.
Well, you can only wear one.
Right.
You can only wear one suit of armor.
Not if I try really hard.
Uh-huh.
What suit are you wearing?
No,
are you wearing a flight suit right now?
I'm wearing a
Assault suit.
I'm wearing a flex suit, which is the one that lets you survive.
Oh
for a
no,
long time.
that's your undersuit. I'm talking about your armor, your top suit.
I have a mobility hard suit right now.
Yeah, you have the flight suit. So the stealth suit will replace your mobility suit.
I see. Okay, see, I'm not going to print that.
Okay.
Mobility is quite nice.
Mobility is quite nice.
Especially because I think you're the only one in this group with the mobility suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. I just liked the way it was. What was I gonna say? I don't know. We could make new like pilot weapons if we want. Just
I'm good.
if nobody else is getting anything, I have an idea of what I might get, but otherwise, like,
Yeah,
please
go for it.
say your idea now. Otherwise, I will do the thing. And when I say do the thing, I mean, I need to
printing.
remind myself. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking through the weapons, and there's not like a bazooka or a rocket launcher. That's what I really wanted to see.
There is heavy
there is?
heavy signature weapon. You can print that.
I believe
Holy
you can
shit.
change the damage type to explosive.
Yeah, I sure can.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll print myself an RPG
All right.
so that if these people run up on me, they're gonna find out the hard way.
So, you watch as the printer... Well, okay. Shit. I did say it takes time to warm up, didn't I?
Hasn't it been warming up?
No, it
Well-
sends out the... Well, okay, you
Well-
jammed it. Yeah, you jammed it while it was warming up. We'll say that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let you get your print in. So you jammed it for an hour. We'll say you succeeded miraculously on all your jamming things to let it warm up. So the whole culmination of all this jamming and nat 20 rolls will get you 1 rocket launcher.
I will take it, and you know what? If it's the victory securing thing next session, you will never hear the end of it from me.
So you watch as the printer, a photonic shield, descends over the print bed, and it looks like a miniature star is formed at the tip of the nozzle, where like plasma and gases and elements are mixed together to distribute themselves in the form of a rocket launcher after 15 minutes. Then it's blasted with liquid nitrogen, and the shield retracts 15 minutes later, and sitting is a rocket launcher of your own choice, Rita.
Fucking
And
sick.
as you pick up
As
the rocket
she's
launcher...
printing that,
Okay.
sorry,
Nope,
can I do
go
something
ahead.
while it's printing?
Yes, you can.
Right by the entrance, I'm going to place come on. I'm gonna place my Lotus projector.
Okay. Sounds good.
Like, very large.
That's a bit
Why?
too small. There we go.
Yes, that is invisible. It has a burst 2 field around it.
Okay.
And because of that, I'm going to, whenever they show up and walk through it, I'm going to figure out how much HP, evasion, E-defense, and heat they have. They also cannot hide or be hidden.
So, you launch out your Lotus projector. Rita, you go to pick up the rocket launcher that you have just printed. And over the horizon, you hear a screeching, or a echoing screech, like a roar almost. And moving its way towards you is a massive gold-colored monster with 2 large wings flapping towards you, a giant toothed maw, and on this dragon's back are 2 tiny mechs. And we'll end the session there.
Hang on. That's not
So-
mech.
So you're telling me now they're mixing Dark Souls with Armored Core?
We're
guess
putting
so.
dragons and Lancer.
I mean, there are fantasy races.
True.
Lancer and dragons.
It, guys. Well, you guys ruined this session for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you figure?
Well, I expected you guys to be like, oh shit, 3D printer, let's start it up. I didn't expect you to, assault the guy, capture him.
We
try and
didn't
figure out how to...
assault the guy.
Oh, yes, you did.
We
I
did.
wanted
He
actually on the
did.
record. Ian never assaulted a guy. He only acted in self-defense.
He punched him after he had knocked the weapon away.
Yeah, that was self-defense.
Oh, boy. All
You
right.
This would
expect
totally
things to
stand
be
in front
on
of a
rails
jury.
with this party, but we never do things the way you expect.
Honestly, this is the most off-the-rails session I think I've ever done in TTRPG. I think Dawn of the Last God has been more on the rails, more, predictable than this.
Nice.
I don't know, we started off having fun character roleplay, and then it's like, okay, let's go do the 3D printer, and then it's like, we're gonna scan the area and make sure there's not a thing that's gonna kill us.
I love fighting combat. I love mech to mech combat and all this stuff. Let me try and figure out exactly how I can avoid doing that.
But it is actually really fun figuring out how
Yeah,
to avoid it.
Sure.
Both things are really fun.
And you got yourself a rocket launcher for all of it. So
Yippee!
nice. Yippee. And
This
you
is
got
also the
the
session I realized somehow Ember is my more hinged character. This is a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
revelation.
Oh yeah. No, I think the most off the rails part of the most off the rails point in the last campaign was when Ember infiltrated that base and caused it to
blew
burn
it up.
down and got taken.
Oh God, don't remind me.
Which
I
then
fucked up so bad.
Which then started off his arc, which I'm really glad that happened because it was a really cool story point. But
I don't remember why I did that.
because you were looking for information on your former boss, and you were like, "Oh, their enemy has a stronghold here, so let me try and get some information."
See, this is what happens because I always plays D&D at like 1 or 2 a.m. So I just make like really bad decisions. So tired.
Good decisions. They're in-character decisions. So, I'll put out a when to meet tomorrow to get you guys when we can next get with this group. Because, yeah, I think I can't I can't switch your squad members until you guys complete this mission. So, all right. Thank you,
guys.
Thank you, everyone,
All right.
and good night.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night,
Good night, folks.
goodbye.
Good night.
Thanks all.